Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD. In today's video, we're going to be giving you a best class setup for the Cordite, and this is going to be without the operator mod, so you can go ahead and transition this class setup into the Barebones playlist. And as you can see on screen, there's a little over 82% of you that have not yet subscribed that continue to watch my content, so make sure you hit that subscribe button before you click away. And if you do like the video, a like rating is very appreciated. So in the 1.16 update, the Cordite actually received two different buffs. The first one's a little bit confusing at first. Says it increased the sprint out speed, which basically means the sprint out speed is faster, which is always a good thing. This is how quick it's going to be from when you're sprinting to actually fire a bullet. So if you're sprinting, you just pull the trigger, how fast that time is slightly faster now. And the second buff doesn't really seem all that big either. It says they extended the 5-shot range from 2.5 meters up to 4 meters, which is only 1.5 meters, but that is a 60% increase from 2.5, which drops the time to kill from approximately 416 milliseconds down to 347, which is about a 20% reduction for those distances between 2.5 up to 4 meters. So not a major balancing change, but enough for the Cordite to be even that more competitive. Since my channel is about helping players improve, I'm going to go ahead and take you through my thought process as I use this weapon and explain a little bit of the class setup, so you'll have a solid best class setup as well as how to use it, which in my opinion is the more important part. In the gameplay, I end up going 52-2. Those two deaths do come up a little bit early on, so we'll kind of walk you through the mistakes I made. Right here, the guy was in a little bit in the water. I really didn't have a good sight line of him, and then as I backpedal, you're going to see me go ahead and step in the water, which kind of throws off my strafing, and I end up losing a gunfight that I probably had a really good chance of winning. So as you'll see, I'm using the reflex sight just because I feel like the reflex sight is way more consistent on the Cordite, even though the iron sights are fairly clean. So that one's definitely gonna be preference, and I do the blue dot sight as far as the reticle goes. You can also see that I'm increasing my magazine size from 60 up to 90 with that extended mags. I just feel like I can get some more consistent feeds. Even though 60 is a lot, it allows you to have a lot more consistency when you have 90 bullets at your disposal. But if you feel like you're good with 60 rounds, you can go ahead and equip long barrel instead of that attachment. And then for the next attachment, I'm running rapid fire. And with the way rapid fire is structured in this game, it's almost a necessity on any weapon that has rapid fire. You might as well equip it because you're going to want a little bit faster time to kill, especially if you're going to be using an SMG that's going to kill in 5 or 6 shots, even with that buff from 2.5 to 4 meters. And the third attachment I'm running on the Cordite is the FMJ attachment. And the reason I use this is for two different reasons. If you go ahead and play regular pubs, you're going to run into people running body armor. If you're not running pubs and you're playing in the Barebones, you get that extra bullet penetration for people on head glitches. So that's my second death. You can see I get out sniped right there, and that is the final death of this match. So I'm going to go ahead and get another like 50 kills from now until the end of the match. You'll kind of see how that plays out. If you care about the rest of the class setup, I'm running ComSec Device, Scavenger, Gung Ho, and Dead Silence. Those are a lot of my preferences. I know you guys have preferences you lean towards, but that's an overall good class setup for the Cordite. So if you look just to the right of the screen, you're going to see the overview for the map Contraband. The spawns are highlighted in red. You can see the left spawns are the west spawns and the right spawns are the east spawns. You have the yellow dotted line, which is the middle of the map, and then the green dotted lines are the lines that if you push beyond those, you're more than likely going to flip the spawns. So right now, a lot of the enemies are going to be coming from the west end of the map, and that's kind of why I'm sitting right here. I end up taking another guy out. I'm barely on a bloodthirsty after those first two initial deaths. Now I'm pushing through the building. You can see they're all coming from this direction, and I'm kind of stacking with my teammates. It's looking like the spawns flipped. You can see a little dot on the mini map on the east side of the map, so you got a good idea of where the guy's coming from. We got split spawns now because we're all in the middle of the map. You can see they're spawning on the west and they're spawning on the east, and there's a guy coming through this middle section. So there's one on the right, and then there's one straight ahead of me. So something I'll point out right now is the way that I'm using the tack boost. I'm using it when I know I'm gonna 100% get a streak. Right here I was only 50 points off, so all I needed to do was heal at least 2 of my teammates, and that allowed me to get to my next streak. Absolutely demolished that guy, turned on him. But the thing is, you're going to want to use this effectively. So if you're not getting on a streak, there's no point in using your tack boost, because if you're getting within 50 points, you're basically guaranteeing you're going to get that next set of streaks. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of Crash users do, is because they don't realize that you should be saving those for those opportune times. Because if you just call a tack boost, come around the corner, get insta melted, basically you wasted your specialist. Other people have like the Tempest, the War Machine, all these different things that are going to rack up kills. You should be almost guaranteeing your streaks, otherwise you're pretty much wasting it. I don't know about you, but it feels like it takes way too many bullets to get rid of this barbed wire. I end up taking it out. Even with FMJ, it's taking that long, and the razor wire is gone. So right here, you don't really want to peek that window as an SMG user unless you know the person's walking across the bridge. So you just got to play that effectively and smart. I can go ahead and peek this side, and now it looks like we still have these spawns. Doesn't look like they flipped yet. I go ahead and peek it really quick, coming around the left side, trying to get a flank. A lot of times with SMGs, you're going to want to play strategically, so you're closing that distance. If you go ahead and just engage whatever at any long distance, you're going to lose these gunfights against the Auger DMR, the Rampart, the Can. Pretty much any rifle is going to outgun the SMGs at medium to long range. So you're going to always want it so that your weapon is excelling. This guy's coming out of the water. I'm able to clean him up, pick up that tag. So one thing that a lot of people I don't think talk about is the strategy you can have when you have streaks in the air. When there's aerial streaks, your opponents get more predictable and they start getting a little bit sloppy. So the predictable part is if there's aerial streaks, people are going to typically do one of two things. The first is trying to sprint to cover. So a lot of times while they're sprinting, they're not really playing smart. They're just trying to run from point A to point B as quick as possible. And a lot of times you can catch them off guard. The second part that goes with that is obviously once they get to cover, it's very predictable where the enemies are going to be. So you can see like 3 of them sitting in this room because all the streaks are in the air. I go ahead and shoot that guy, not really a good spot because that barricade's there, and I go ahead and kind of leave that alone. So the other thing a lot of players will do that's very predictable is they're going to go ahead and pull out their launcher and they're going to try to shoot down your streaks. And while they're looking at the sky, easy kills. You come around the corner, they're not even looking at you, and a lot of times you can just clean them up. Like I shot that guy there, the sniper's nest ended up finishing the guy off, but there's like 4 of them spawning on this west side of the map. So I kind of leave that alone, push around, let my score streaks do what they're supposed to do. I called them in for a reason. I make sure I pick up my tags. And as I come around through the spawn, look what I find the enemy player doing, trying to shoot down my streaks. There's also a hacker right here, so perfect timing. I'm in their spawn, and you can see where they're all spawning. They're spawning kind of this edge of the beach. Come around, get this guy, easy kill in the back, and I'm pretty much able to flip the spawns by myself. So this is a good flip. I come through, get 3 kills, my teammate's able to grab the tags, and now we're in a really good spot. I have another sniper's nest, another thresher. I start calling that thing in, so I'm able to cycle my streaks. Right here you can see the death skull to the right, so there's probably an enemy in that general area as well as you saw it on the minimap. So all I'm waiting for is teammates to push forward, and that's primarily because there's way too many angles for me to cover. If I run through the middle of the map, there's a lot going on, longer sight lines where I'm going to be at a disadvantage. You can see I'm kind of working around the edge of the map and trying to make sure the sight lines are a little bit closer than normal. So for those of you that have seen my other class setups using rifles, tactical rifles, or LMGs, you'll know that I'll engage a lot more people at the middle of the map. Even I'll come around this right side and maybe peek into the spawn at very long sight lines. But with the Cordite, I'm generally trying to keep it as close as possible. So I go ahead and creep around. I kind of look through the building here, go around the edge, peek it, seeing if I can get anything going here. If someone was coming around the corner, I'd probably strafe to the left to get to cover. And now you can see the spawns have flipped. They kind of flipped pretty quickly. This guy came out of nowhere. My teammate was oblivious, but luckily I was able to take him out. And one thing I did want to talk about, because I do talk a lot throughout my videos, and that's mainly because I want to get out as much information as possible. If you don't like that type of content, I'm probably not the right channel for you, because I talk almost the entirety of the video. So right here, I'm going ahead and swim around this left side. It looks like my teammates have a good control of the middle of the map. Score streaks coming in hot. This guy's trying to shoot some stuff. I go ahead and shoot him in the back. And you'll notice as I move around the map, most of my engagements are not face to face. So I get a lot of easy kills where I'm shooting the person 3 or 4 times before they even have a chance to react. So for those players out there with better reflexes, better gun skill, you're going to be able to utilize these different tips and tricks even more effectively than I do. And that's what you see from a lot of top tier Call of Duty YouTubers like Swag, Korean, Dismo. These players are very smart players with very good reflexes and very good gun skill. So what you're seeing right now is a lot of people are actually leaving the lobby, and this typically happens when you start calling in too many streaks and you're playing very smart, because a lot of times that can be frustrating as a player, because sometimes players are just better than you with gun skill, accuracy, even reaction time, but you're still able to outplay them because you play very smart. You're able to predict where they're at, you get in some easy kills. They don't even land a bullet on you. Like that guy was aiming for me. He missed me slightly. I was able to laser him, completely take him out. I go ahead and come around the left side. I still feel like we have the west spawns. So that's why I'm approaching as if people are already here. I did see one guy. I'm not sure exactly which route he's going. This is not the sight line I want. I want to be a lot closer. And it looks like I'm behind the guy right there. I'm going to let my teammates handle that guy. Then I'm going to go ahead and push around this left side. And I get shocked by the little shock drone. I go ahead and press square immediately, assuming someone's going to pop out. But they don't end up popping out. I kind of back up, assuming they're going to follow it, because 9 times out of 10, when you get hit with that shock drone, 9 times out of 10, that person is literally going to be running around the corner trying to get that free kill. Whether they're going for headshots or whatever the case is, they are following their little shock drone. So it looks like they're still going to be all on the west side. I go ahead and take that guy out. and I'm expecting a lot of them to be coming from this area. You can see they're all kind of held up in that room, kind of camping it out. Obviously, there continue to be streaks in the air that always are throwing them off. And I spot this guy without him even spotting me. I go ahead and chase him down and close the distance just a little bit. But by the time I fire the weapon, he was just in full-on sprint mode. I didn't land every single shot. I'm thinking my teammate's going to kill him. And that's about it for the Cordite. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. And if you're one of those almost 83%, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 50% subscriber ratio. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.